Hello everyone and welcome to Main Street Magic Designs. Happy February. Today we are going to be making some Valentine decor with a little bit of Disney inspiration and some heart candy inspiration. So what we're going to do is take some felt, some pastel colored felts, and I made myself some cardstock patterns of Mickey heads and hearts, and for each one you want to cut out two pieces, a front and a back. Same for the hearts, a front and a back. And I did these in all kinds of different colors, shades. And for the hearts, I was putting on the words like you find on the heart candies. And the Mickey heads, I just left plain, although I was considering putting on like a little heart button or maybe a bow in every other one, so that you could have Mickey and Minnie heads. I haven't quite decided yet, since I'm just getting started. To get started, you'll need some felt. You'll need your patterns, and I just went on and found a Mickey head on Google Images and a heart shape on Google Images and printed them out on cardstock. Not a big deal. You need some floss to sew your pieces and to create the words. Now you can do it without the words if you want, and you can just have it plain. So it was like this. And you'll need some stuffing. And then we're going to use some string or ribbon to hang it together to create a garland to hang up when we get all finished. So to start with, you're going to, if you're going to make the heart, so I traced with a pen. If you could do it with a pencil or maybe some chalk instead of the pen, that might be better. If you do it with a pen, try to do it really lightly so it doesn't show up. But you're going to put the pen on the inside, and when you stitch around, it should hide it for the most part. So then for the words, I just Googled an image of the candy hearts and picked out some easier ones. Like these ones are all pretty much just lines, so that you can stitch them on with just a straight stitch. And I used red because that's the typical color all the candy hearts. So for this one, I'm going to do Hug Me. So I'm just going to start with the H. I'm going to finish this because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me do this for hours. Not that it'll take hours, but it takes a little bit of time. And I'll come back to you and show you when I'm done with the letters. So there's the finished ugly. So the next thing we're going to do is sew our hearts together. And to do that, we're going to use a blanket stitch. So to get started, I'm going to start at the bottom. I actually think I'm going to, this other heart seems like it's just a little bit bigger here. So I'm just going to trim it a tiny bit. So that it matches up a little bit better. Probably just cut the one closer to the pin than the other one. So I'll fix that like that. So I'm gonna do a blanket stitch, but first I'm gonna start by putting my thread in the middle. So I'm just going through the top piece here right near the point. Through, that way the end of the thread can be tucked inside of the heart. And then we're going to do the blanket stitch, which is just to come up from underneath. And then pull through the loop that you leave at the end. Now, the first one always looks a little bit odd, more like a knot, but after you get going, you'll see. Loop, like that. So we're going to keep doing the blanket stitch around the outside of the heart until you get to a point where you think you can stuff. And now that I think about it, I should have done this differently, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to stitch all the way around till I get to about here, I think, or maybe here, so that I can stuff the heart and then finish off the blanket stitch. So I'm going to get to that point and then I'll come back to you. So now I'm about this far in, and I notice that my thread is probably not going to be long enough to get to the end. So I'm going to actually tie it off now and then stuff it. So stuffing. I'm just going to tuck this little thread in here. Make sure you get the tops of the heart nice and full. So now that we've stuffed it, you just have to finish off sewing that side. So I'm going to do that and come back. So here is the completed heart. So you can make as many of these as you would like to, with different sayings. So to make the Mickey head, you're going to do the same blanket stitch around the outside edge and stuff it. So I'm going to make a bunch of those and a couple more hearts, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I finished making my hearts and my Mickey heads. And to make the garland, what I'm going to do is cut little pieces of ribbon and then hot glue them to make little loops. You can see that. To thread through some twine. And you can see here, this is the plan. I just pinned it to start with just to make sure that it was going to work and exactly where I wanted to glue it before I glue it down. So I'm going to put these little loops just using some ribbon. Cut little pieces, loop it, and hot glue it, and then thread the twine through. So I'm going to put the ribbon on the back of each one of these, and then I'll come back to you. So now that I have the little loops on the back of all of my hearts, I'm just going to start stringing my twine with the hearts and the Mickey heads, and I'm just going to do every other one in alternating different colors. So just to get started, just open the loop, take the thread through, or the twine through, pull it down a little, and keep going until you get them all on. Once I have it all strung up, I'll come back to you. So here is the finished product. I hung it up with some command hooks on my wall over my little shelf. So here you can see a little closer. I think it turned out really cute. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and be on the lookout for some more fun crafting coming your way very soon. Thanks everybody, goodbye.